Hello. What I'd like to go over is some emails that I've received recently from my bookkeeping department. And the person who is my main contact right now is Charlene and Conda there. You'll see on the left. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go through some of these emails that we've received. I'm just in my sent items box. And then that way you can kind of see what I've responded to and how I've handled whatever has been asked of me. Generally, our bookkeeping department works Monday through, or I should say, probably Sunday through Thursday, and they work in the evenings, our time. They're in the Philippines, and so they start, I'd say around 4:30 or 5 o'clock my time in the evening. I start seeing different things come in. So anyway, let's just take a look at this first email. Subject AP run. Well, that's accounts payable run. Hello, Rob. Please consider the notes below. So she put no EFT for this week's AP run, and the EFT is the electronic funds transfer, and that's direct deposits that we need to pay people on. Please refer to the image below for the list of outstanding bills. And then they're giving us um, an update on what's going on here. Now, Big Dog Heating and Cooling, I know that they have our credit card information, so I don't know why they haven't run that yet. I could probably give them a call, but my bookkeepers have been reaching out to these people. And like, for instance, here for CG Glass and Windows and White Knight Pest Control, we have contacted both of them and are reminding them to run the credit cards. So I need to find out why they haven't run these yet. So that's going to be something that you would do if you see this. Then you may want to just give the vendor a call and check it out. It says please follow the link for the summary of invoices. Let's just do that real quick. Summary of invoices. Okay, well, it's going to have me sign in, I guess, with Google. Okay, so I guess if I want to take a look at the summary, let's see here, got it, of different invoices, they've got it here, which, okay, so I have no idea what we need to do with that. But I followed the link just to show you how we do that. So anyway, so really that's how I responded was as a tactic. Maybe we should let them know that time is of the essence on paying these bills. Why we still have the account. And the reason why I responded like that is because I want them to know that, hey, while we still have that account with the owner, if let's say we are waiting for the money, um, from the owner, although we do take it already out of their net proceeds, but I don't want them coming back to us a year down the road and say, oh, you need to pay these bills now. That's not acceptable. So I was just thinking we should let them know, and then they should be reaching out to me for that payment information if they have questions. All right, I'm going to go on to the next one. Okay, this right here was a lease expiration letter that you should have on file. And I do have bookkeeping sending these, these notices. I said 120 days out um, is when this needs to be sent out to the owner, because um, we need to know if they're going to renew the lease or not, before we even know from the tenant if they're going to renew or not. Because Colorado state law now says that we need to give a 91-day notice to the tenant if for some reason the owner is not going to renew the lease. Now, there are different laws with this. I'm going to have to go into a more in-depth um, video on that. But basically, you can't just tell somebody they have to move if you don't like them. So they have to either be a problem tenant, not pay on time all the time. There's some different caveats, asterisks on that. But in a nutshell, I'm having the bookkeeping department send this letter, this form letter, to every owner 120 days prior to them, to the lease expiration date. Then we at least know what we're dealing with, and we can work with this over the next month before it gets to the 91 days. And I just noticed that this lease expired on May 31st, and they waited till the 91 days to give this notice to the owner. So I went ahead and responded back to the bookkeeper. Hi, Charlene. This letter was supposed to be sent out to the owner 120. Okay. Wait. This letter was supposed to be sent to be sent. Oh, this letter was supposed to be set to be sent out to the owner, not letter, 120 days prior to lease expiration. The reason why this is important is so that we can have enough time to negotiate the situation with the owners and tenants. This was the first one, this was the first owner that we started doing this with. And I expected this hiccup and knew it wouldn't matter too much since we had just sent out this information to all owners just recently. Let's make sure we have this adjustment set up in your calendar for the next ones. Okay, so that was interesting. Okay, I'm just scrolling down. By the way, when we see Crest PM-MP at Monpac, that's from the bookkeepers. Okay, so this one I had sent the activity of the United Club card ending 8896. That's the one we pay all the vendors with. Every month, we need to send that out. So what I do, I'm going to go ahead and show you. This is a good time to just show you what we do with that. So I'm going to have to go to a different screen, but what I'm going to do is show you how to pull up the club card. And here, I'm going to get into another screen here. Well, it's having me re-sign in now, but okay. And then I'm going up here to my bookmarks, and I'm going to go to Chase Hyatt credit card, which that's where all of my credit cards are that I use for my business, but it's the Chase Hyatt card, the Chase United Club card, and the Chase Explorer card. Okay, I'm going to sign in. It's going to want me to authenticate. I'm just going to say text me. I just auto put in the password, And now it just texted me, so I'm going to put in the code. And then I'm going to say next. Now you guys are all set up for these cards. I'm going to go over what these cards are too. This Hyatt business card, this is, I really don't even use this card at all, but I'm keeping it anyway. The United Explorer card, I put all of our business expenses on this one. And when I say business expenses, I mean, everything I can possibly pay, all the subscriptions, everything. I try to keep it on the same credit card for tax write-off purposes, because then we just, at the end of the year, add everything up. And it makes it a lot easier because all of our expenses are either on this card here or it's on the bank statements for the business. Here's a United Club card. This is strictly for the vendors, and it's kind of a pass-through account, if you will. We use it, so what we do is we pay all the vendors, and we have the owners will obviously be paying the fee, or somebody's going to be paying that fee, whether it's the owner or the tenant. It's generally the owner. And then that comes out of the rents account. So all the money goes into the rent account and then also goes out to the owners and to the vendors out of there as well. So here, what we do is every month we have to get the statement and give this to the bookkeeping department. Now, the bookkeeping department, they don't have the access to this information on these cards. They can get into the bank statements, but for some reason, these credit cards won't allow them to gain access. It's kind of I think it's called an accounting access that the banks give them, but they can't take any money out. But they can at least get in with the banks, but not here. So what we have to do is we just have to click on this United Club card. And what I do is I will, like if I'm going to update this, I'll just copy and paste this part. And then what I did I'm going to go back to the screen of what I had sent them, is that's what this portion is. I had already copied and pasted this for them so they can reconcile their accounts. And then what I do is up here, this is going to be the statement. So now I'm going to go back to this, to the credit card, to Chase. I'm going to go to statements. I can go ahead and over here, I can open the statement. I know this is for February, but we can look at it. Payment due date 3/5, so I know that's for February. Then I go up here, I go to print. I put in save as PDF because you can either save it or you can print it. If we put it here to this Office Jet, HP Office Jet, then that would print it. I would save. And then what I would do is, oh, look, it already just took me right into my OneDrive where the folder was. And I've already got a February 2025 here. So I've already done this. So I would just take this file name right down here, and I would change it to February 2025.pdf, and I'd save it. So you're going to want to save a file for each one of these credit cards where you can do the same thing. And then after we save it in here, which again, I've already done, then when we go back to the email, I'm going to go back to the email. Then all we have to do is in our email, just go ahead and attach that February 2025. And then in the subject line, just let them know that that's the credit card activity for that particular credit card ending in 8896. And then that way they can kind of keep up with all of the expenses and make sure everybody's getting paid. So I've spent 15 minutes on this, and I'm going to go ahead and stop, and then I will do more. But I figure 15 minutes at a time is plenty. Thanks. Have a good one.